Pick your niche, master one thing, stay in your lane. You know what's funny about this whole niching down thing? It's actually the worst advice for creatives right now. In a world where AI can pump out basic content like it's nothing, being multi-passionate isn't just fun anymore. It's actually our biggest advantage right now. Think about it. AI might be able to create a nice picture or write a decent blog post, but it can't put together all those random pieces of who you are. It can't tell your story. And that's what I want to talk about today. All those interests that made people call us too scattered. They're exactly what we need to stay ahead in a world where being just one thing won't cut it anymore. You know, I spent years trying to fit into what I thought an artist should be. Like literally years. I had this image in my head, the serious artist who focuses on their craft, who lives and breathes just one medium, one style. When you're multi-passionate, society makes you feel like there's something wrong with you. Like you're somehow less serious, less dedicated because you love doing different things. I remember sitting one day trying to update my website, just staring at the screen, feeling this pressure to present myself as this one-dimensional artist. Should I hide the fact that I also make jewelry and love fashion and home decor? Should I leave out my teaching experience because it might make me look less focused? I kept trying to erase parts of myself to fit this mold of what I thought a real artist should be. But the more I tried to stick to one lane, the more I felt like I was holding my breath, like I was trying to be this smaller version of myself. And I know I'm not alone in this. If you've ever felt guilty about having too many interests, about being pulled in different directions, drop a comment below because I really want to know if this rings true for you too. I stopped feeling guilty about having multiple interests when I started creating content. Look, if you want to grow fast, picking a niche works. The algorithm loves it and it knows exactly who to show your content to. But you'll get stuck creating the same thing over and over again. And there's another way. I was talking with my cousin who has a marketing background about how I could market myself as an artist who does more than just one thing, someone who doesn't fit neatly in a box. She introduced me to the concept of personal branding, and at first I couldn't see how creating a personal brand would help me, but then she said something that flipped the switch. She told me that being multi-passionate isn't a problem to fix. It's actually a branding superpower. She explained that personal branding isn't about creating some polished, perfect brand. It's about letting people see how you think, how you create, how you view the world. For multi-passionate creators like us, we have the ability to connect different dots that no one else can. I started noticing this all over the place. Creators who share their art one day, who vlog, travel, and then teach or coach. And their audiences love it because they're not following a niche, they're following someone's journey. These creators, and when I say creators, I also mean artists, are not building their brand around one thing. They're building it around who they are. Now, it might take longer to grow, but they're building a community that values their perspective and personality, not just the niche they fit into. The key is knowing how to weave all our passions together, because when you force yourself into one category, you're not just limiting your content, you're also limiting your growth. You get stuck creating the same things over and over, using the same skills, telling the same stories. And in a world that's changing this fast, that's risky. Again, you might grow slower than someone who picks one clear niche, but you're building something that won't feel like a cage 6 months from now. This is what this looks like for me. Instead of trying to separate all my interests, I started looking for the connections between them. And I realized everything I do comes back to empowering people to live their most creative, authentic lives. I'm literally in the middle of redoing my website right now, but this time, instead of trying to fit myself into some traditional artist template, I'm creating space for the whole picture because my art isn't just about making beautiful things. It's also about expressing the same message I share through my writing, my coaching, and my content. When I stopped trying to separate everything, I realized it all flows together naturally because it's all part of my story. That's when everything started clicking for me. My love for fashion influences my art compositions. My interest in interior design shows up in how I style my studio space and shoot my content. Even my passion for wellness weaves into my teaching style. Instead of feeling scattered, it feels whole because it's all coming from my real interest. It's all part of my real life. So here's what I've learned about testing this approach. Yes, the algorithm takes longer to figure out who you are when you're not stuck in one niche, but it eventually gets it. Someone once left a comment for me and said, the algorithm is not working against you, it's working with you. And I absolutely agree. Because real people aren't one-dimensional. They're interested in different things just like us. When my cousin helped me see myself as a brand instead of just one thing, everything started making sense. And I'll use my channel as an example. I'm an artist, but I talk about all sorts of things on my channel. I talk about art, personal development, my creative journey, whatever feels true to me in that moment. And yeah, some videos hit right away, others not so much. But as my channel grows, people start finding those quieter videos. They'll message me saying things like, I really needed to hear this today, or this video spoke to me. And that's when I realized when you share what's real to you, the algorithm will find the right people. It just might take a little while. My channel would have grown a lot faster had I picked one topic, but it's sustainable and I'm not burning myself out by pumping out the same content every day. And because I've embraced all my passions, I'm building something that's both fulfilling and sustainable. And I want to say that in a world where AI is taking over a lot of jobs, what makes us irreplaceable is our creativity and how we can blend different parts of our lives together. Because AI can master one skill, but it can't bring life experiences together the way we do. That's where being multi-passionate gives us an edge. When you stop fighting your multiple passions and start seeing them as different colors in your palette, your work becomes impossible to copy because no one else has lived your life or sees the world quite like you do. So if you've ever felt like being multi-passionate was a weakness, just know that you have an advantage in a world that's craving genuine human connection right now. So embrace all of who you are. As I mentioned earlier, I'm in the middle of rebranding and have just updated all the free guides on my website. I'll be adding more resources about content creation, wellness, personal development, and building a sustainable creative life. You can find these guides and information about working with me in the description below. So let us know in the comments below, how has the pressure to niche down affected you, and what are your thoughts on building a personal brand instead? Thank you so much for joining me today. Keep creating, keep trusting yourself, and I'll see you in the next video.